Now, Shenzhen wasn't always like this. It started as just a small fishing village in the past. But in 1979, it was selected as the first of 5 special economic zones in China, which were to be an experiment in limited market capitalism. This experiment helped Shenzhen transform into an ever-expanding economic powerhouse. And eventually, with over $30 billion in foreign investment, we have one of the fastest growing cities in the world.
Originally, this city was full of hills and mountains. However, Shenzhen underwent major changes to its landscape. The once fishing village is now replaced by a huge metropolis.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Intel Extreme Masters Season 10 in wonderful Shenzhen, China, where it's down to this. It's down to the round of 4. We're in the semifinals, gentlemen. Only 4 players remain. Now, all Koreans, they did make it through. They had to climb a hard battle against the Europeans, but they're now here. And, of course, first up, it is going to be herO versus Classic on the bottom side of the bracket. Waiting for us afterward will be Parting versus TY. I think going forward, most of this we expected, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we had some dreams about an all-European semifinal.
I can't believe you cursed that Chobra.
The Chobra curse, man.
It's here. It's starting.
I mean, this is pretty much what you would expect, right? It's like, okay, out of those the 4 Protosses that came that we were all excited about, it's like, okay, one of them will probably eliminate the other in the in the bracket stage, right?
Yeah.
In the round of 8, and then we'll have 3 of them in like TY or Lucira.
Yeah.
Of course, Snoot actually eliminated one in the group stage, so that was cool. But I mean, this top 4 is not really that surprising.
Yeah, and herO now waiting already in the booth. He can't wait to try to get to that final. He told us in the interview, I can't assess myself until I get to the final. I think that's where I'll finally be able to see. But Classic is not an easy opponent.
No, this is going to be a really cool semifinals. They've got a lot of history with each other as well. And I think the most remarkable encounter was at BlizzCon last year, where herO was up 2-0 over this man, Classic.
Yeah.
But then, there were a couple of pauses, there were a couple of technical difficulties. And then Classic pretty much cheesed him 3 games in a row. I'm sure herO didn't forget about that series, and he wants his revenge so bad.
Yeah, I think Classic is going to be up against it, because as good as herO is, and herO's been saying, right, herO's, I'm just, I'm still playing not as good as I want to play. The thing is, he hasn't been truly tested, and this is going to be herO really stretching out and showing what he's made of. And I think, I don't know if you guys agree with this, but I really think this is a herO Parting final no matter what. Like, I really can't see this going any other way.
I agree.
I think that's what most people do expect. Now, you brought up a good point, though. herO, what was his road so far coming towards here? He actually knocked out all the locals, right? He just ripped away the Chinese dream at Intel Extreme Masters, and now he's here. He wasn't joking when he said, I don't think I've been tested enough. I don't think I've played an opponent that really stands up to me or really tests my limits. Maybe Classic can do that. Like you mentioned, Roddy, I spoke to Classic earlier during the other quarterfinal, and he's like, well, yeah, I beat him at BlizzCon. I'm not too worried. I'm actually not too worried. He can be the Intel Extreme Master Prince, but...
I mean, there are many ways to win a series, and if he would have taken him out 3-0 in a bunch of beautiful games with Tempest and Colossus, I would have been like, yeah, brag about that series. But I remember that series, Classic. You built a bunch of gateways in his base.
Well, isn't that how you kill herO?
Yeah, maybe.
Isn't that actually his weakness?
Yes. I was actually thinking then, what is herO's weakness? And I was going through a bunch of things in my mind, and then you said that. Because herO really doesn't have many at all, if any, apart from that one. Because he's such an all-round player. He's so experienced now in these tournaments. Everything's on his side. He's comfortable. He wants to be here. He likes it here. He's in form right now. He's playing a Protoss versus Protoss match, which he's good at. There's really nothing that can go wrong for him, aside from losing, but that's not going to happen.
So, Artosis, if that possibly is the only weakness he has, do you think Classic just opens up with that in map 1? Or do you think he still tries to try something at an even footing first?
If you beat him with a proxy gate in game 1, herO's brain will melt in the bottom of his skull, because he has lost so much money to proxy gates in his main base and not scouting.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Literally hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Not fake but literally. It's been so much money. He's lost to it so many times. He scouts for it more often now.
He's thinking
about it. If you can pull off a proxy and beat him, I think you have mentally won the series against him. So I would like to see that, yes, Cho. Chobra. I would
Look at that face.
I'm not
though.
sure what the starting map is.
There's only one thing in his brain right now, that's proxy gates. He's just like,
Probably.
how many? 1 or 2?
You can imagine all his fans sending tweets, 2 gate, 2 gate, 2 gate,
Yeah.
check it, check it, check it.
Yeah, seriously.
He checks Twitter and there's nothing other than 2 gates.
Check for proxy 2 gates, herO.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when you've lost that much, it does have to haunt you. I mean, that's something you have to step up on. Obviously, herO, a player who does learn from his past, he learns from his mistakes. That's how he's been a 3-time Intel Extreme Master champion. No stranger to that.
But Classic is a Star League winner. Come on, everybody.
Yes.
We got to look at it this way,
We always
too.
underestimate him. Always. We
Yeah.
never give Classic
That's
his
true.
due. No
Yeah.
one does.
Yeah, especially because, I mean, we keep talking about how Snoop beat him in the groups, but hey, he's back here in the semifinals. He still holds on to that title. Reigns the one who got eliminated in the round of 16. Classic's still here standing strong.
But nobody ever dares to say a bad word about Rain, man.
No, okay.
No. Well, you can't. I mean, he's Rain. He's the king of Protoss.
Rain
but-
just got so unlucky.
So now we have
Oh, man.
so now
It
we
was
have the,
unfair. In fact, it was unfair.
We should just redo the entire tournament. Start off of day 1.
Right, Graham, we need to go over again. We only have a few hours left, but we got to get the tournament done again.
Reign, the king of Protoss, parting the Protoss god, and then we have herO,
The Prince.
who's a Intel Extreme Master Prince. What's Classic?
See, that's the thing. We don't even have something that we call the poor guy. He's had result after result after result. He's definitely one of the best players in the world. No one can argue this. He has a GSL championship, an SSL championship. He's always playing in Pro League. He makes it a BlizzCon, knocks out some of the best players. We don't even have anything cool we call him.
That is a bit unfortunate,
I am
yeah.
disappointed in every single one of us.
I thought you were going to say you were disappointed in Classic, but I guess it
I
comes on us.
thought he was going to say disappointed you, Chobra, actually.
Chobra, I am disappointed that you have not coined some ingenious thing to call this guy.
That is my job, isn't it?
Yeah, as the host, kind of.
Yeah,
You
that's-
start thinking, you write down some options for
right.
us.
Chobra, if
Give us
Red Eye was
25
here,
different things we can call him and we'll choose.
Red Eye would have
Red
a
Eye
great
would have had a
nickname.
name by
I'll
now.
slip you guys a couple of notes in map 2, and then you'll be able to introduce him with that as the map 2 opens. Don't worry.
That sounds good.
Thank you, Chobra.
Yeah, you know, I might not be at the very best, but I can be a close second. No worries. Classic now just getting ready, making sure he's all settled. He does want to make the best of this chance, of course. I mean, Classic, he's been talking in recent interviews in Korea too. Like, I'm hungry for more trophies. I really want to secure my spot in StarCraft too.
Yeah, I have changed my opinion a little bit about Classic. Like, I always thought he was great, but never as great as the others. And then I was like, man, I can't believe he still proxy gates. And now I kind of can believe he does it, because his early game micro is just out of the world. Like, it takes a very different micro to micro 3 or 4 units than to do a maxed out army. There's so many different ways to micro in StarCraft 2. But when it comes to super early game Stalker versus Stalker, he is incredibly smart with pathing, positioning, and pulling back on the right moment, because it's like a unique skill on its own, and he has mastered that up to like almost no one else. So he definitely scored some points in my book this tournament.
Yeah, and again, I mean, something we haven't mentioned as much, of course, the relatively newer map pool. We've seen some players definitely take advantage of that. I mean, who's been doing their work, who's been doing their studying, who's been doing their homework. And hey, if you found a way to cheese earlier than other players, all power to you.
Where is the Stargate gonna be?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah, all jokes aside, but that's a very valid point. Like, I've been playing ladder as well, and I look around, it's like, where do I even check for this kind of stuff? And even early game, there's a couple of crazy maps out there. We are playing best of 5s now, so only one veto each. So we could definitely see craziness.
Yeah, hey, in Brood War 2, I mean, some of the Korean players, Boxster was known for a couple of those too, right? That's how you get your name out there. You learn the maps, but we are here for the first semifinal, the first round of 4.
Indeed.
After the next 2 matches, Artosis, it is down to just 2 players.
Oh man, this is really exciting stuff, guys. Get out there, hashtag IEM, let people know this is going on, because we are going into herO against Classic, an epic PvP.
Run it down. Really excited for this one. It's time to begin. We started with 16 players and now only got 4 left. 3 Protoss and a Terran.
PvP semifinals. This tournament is kind of just made for me. I do miss Le Tot, I have to admit, because I know that Le Tot is sitting in home. He's looking at his bracket. He's like, I should have been kissing this. Like, well, Johan, you're with us in spirits. But for now, all this Protoss belongs to me, Sean, and I'm so excited about it.
And you've been having a fantastic tournament, Rossi. Your analysis and Protoss talk has been on spot, and I hope it is for this match as well.
Are you sarcastic now, mate? Or are you actually
No, absolutely
serious?
not. Here to the left-hand side is the red Protoss player playing for CG Enters. It is the 3-time Intel Extreme Masters champion, herO, who would be looking at his 5th final.
He lost an IEM final, correct? Katowice?
That's right. He lost the
Against
World
SOS?
Championship
Oh, the $100,000 game.
$100,000 Roddy. And then over here to the right-hand side is the blue Protoss. It's Classic.
Just take them both, Sean.
That's my job, Roddy, as the host between the two of us, because I can't and don't know anything about StarCraft. I have to do the player intros.
Sean, you're underselling yourself over here, and you know it. I'm really excited for it, especially because I haven't seen too much super high-level PvP yet on these maps. And actually, the other day, I was streaming a little bit, trying to do some commentary, and I was like, guys, I would like to tell you what is the best way to play on Bridgehead, and I haven't figured it out yet. This is such a unique map because of that silly double backdoor rocks that you can even blink a pass when you don't have high ground vision, and then the main ramp into your main base, like this ramp is too big for a single force field, so it's like, okay, what is the right way to play over here? I'm kind of expecting Twilight consoles from both sides, but maybe one player will throw in an Oracle into a Twilight console, but I do think that Blink is a must over here, because I don't think you can hold anything or be in position without Blink ever. But that's just, my little newbie mid-master league NA opinion.
Well, probe here for herO, traveling to the other side of the map to have a quick look at what his opponent is up to. And he's going to see a very standard opening. Both sides have opened up very standard here, Rotterdam, to start this best of 5 up.
herO scouted surprisingly late, and he didn't even check the back of his main base. There is so much space inside of his main base, and he didn't even look for proxies. He's asking for it, man. Classic is going to boot up this replay after this game. He's like, oh, you never learn, do you, herO?
You think he'll...
I think he's going to do it at least once. But I think that's just because Classic, his early game proxies, I have completely changed my mind about early game proxies. When you're as good as Classic, you can just always do it. I thought in certain build orders you're going to have a default win against it, but Classic is early game micro when it comes to, 2 Zealots, 2 Stalkers, 1 Zealot, 3 Stalkers. Is so out of this world stupid good that I think he can always proxy if he just feels like it. Whoa! Hashtag mind games.
And cancel into Stargates. There is still the probe around, though. Yes, it did. The probe is going for a dive in again, but it is going to get denied from this Stalker. And unfortunately, Classic in the dark now. Well, in the dark to what's actually happening, should I say.
Wow, and look at Classic. He's actually opening up double sentry into a 1-gate fastmet over here. Like, it's really funny because I'm pretty damn sure that herO's going to open up with an Oracle over here. That just makes sense. Yep. But if he would start playing Phoenixes, I think Phoenix is always very solid against 1-gate fast expand because, the sentries are not very good against Phoenixes. You will just lose them, and then you're just defending mineral lines, and eventually you will fall behind a little bit. But very cool little mind game over here. It is going to be an Oracle, though. Like, if it's not wow, Phoenix, man, that's so sick. That is actually extremely good for herO. I really did not expect it. I was so damn sure that he was going to go Oracle. Most of the time, when they cancel a building to go Stargate, it's almost always Oracle. But Phoenix is a great scenario here for CJ's herO.
Well, Classic is challenging the king. I don't like him calling himself the he's the king of the Intel Extreme Masters, of course, herO. Classic has played in three other, sorry.
Is he gonna go? He's so
quarterfinals.
This is something that I've done a lot in my days because he's already getting an offensive pylon. So I think he's gonna try to stay on one base over here. herO, that is. He's gonna try to work on this mothership core. You want to try to force out a photon overcharge as early as possible, and then the moment that photon overcharge expires, you just fly in with your Phoenixes and you run in with your gateway units and you just try to win immediately. It's very difficult to defend. The key here for Classic is don't use your photon overcharge too early. That is the most important thing.
Well,
okay, herO is getting an expand.
Hallucinated Oracle is going to see this expansion. 2 Stalkers coming up to the front door here, which Classic does see, and tries to force field one of them, brings down the shields, but that's it. He's going to regenerate. 3 Phoenixes waiting here on the high ground.
I don't get it. Like, herO's getting a sentry now, a sentry at home. I'm a little bit confused about herO's game plan, because for a second I thought he was going to go for a big Phoenix gateway attack, which, doesn't seem like herO-ish. He does force out the photon overcharge, but since he's also expanding, taking a lot of damage, but he's still going to get a cheeky pro kill or 2.
Yep, he gets 2 pro kills, and then he's going to fly out. Takes a very little amounts of damage on these Phoenix.
So I guess what he's doing with getting this pylon on this side of the map, Sean, and showing the Phoenixes, he's like scaring Classic, and Classic may be slowing down pro production a little bit, and he is bound to lose more probes, because it doesn't matter how good you are. If you don't have a lot of Blink Stalkers, you will... Oh, wow, he ended up losing those...
2 Stalkers,
those Stalkers.
Picks up a sentry.
He almost got a Phoenix kill. But what I tried to say is that it doesn't matter how good you are, you will end up losing probes against 5 Phoenixes. It's inevitable, even if you're Classic, Rain, whatever. Right now, he just doesn't have the units or the mobility or the damage output to deal with these Phoenixes. So I do still think that herO is going to be ahead in the end.
He's going to take another sentry. 2 sentries do go down here, still without a loss to his Phoenixes. And an Oracle was made as well. There are Stalkers going down to the south side. Is this Oracle going to get into that probe line to give herO a lead in the economy? Because right now, because of the speed of Classics, it is Classic who has that.
What?
Oh, he just takes down the Observer, that's it.
I mean, it is kind of good to kill the Observer because that means that it's going to be so much harder for Classic to figure out where those Phoenixes are. One of the best plays you can make against Phoenixes is putting Observers, so then your Stalkers will be in position. But, you know, there we go. Just 2 probe kills. Just like that. It's nice. herO already 3 workers ahead.
Yeah.
And I think when it's all said and done, when the Phoenix phase is truly over, when Blink is finished up, I think herO should have a 6 or 7 worker lead.
Well, the Phoenix is worth their weight in gold at this point, just flying around waiting for an opportunity to dive in to find a probe or sentry. And Oracle's still waiting around, regenerating its energy. For it's also time to strike.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird to see a player go with 5 Phoenixes and then an Oracle, but the more I think about it, the more I like it.
Yeah.
Killing that Observer is great, and it's always there, like you mentioned. He doesn't have to do something right here, right now.
Yeah.
It's gathering up energy. Eventually, if it swings in one time, Photon Overcharge out of position, maybe you could do some serious work.
Phoenixes do get spotted by an Observer. They come around, though, chased out by Classic, who is nearing the completion of Blink. And he's going to put 1 Phoenix through just to have a quick look and scout to see what he sees in between these bases. Doesn't see too much. Sees the extra gas being added on, I guess, is the most important part on that natural.
Yeah, exactly. I think also make sure that there are no 3 or 4 gateways going down behind that mineral line, because if that happens, then suddenly everything changes. You're going to chrono boost Immortals like a madman if you're herO, and you just get Phoenix Immortal.
I mean, looking at the infrastructure, herO just seems in a much better position here. Slightly faster Robotics Bay. He's got that +1 attack down. Robotics Bay, as mentioned already, but he's got quite a few Immortals out too, Roddy. His army size and build is looking nice.
Yeah, and you just have more map presence, map control.
Yeah.
He has been dropping the ball a tiny bit on probe production. He's still not building probes. I think he's a little bit worried about Classic attacking him. That's why I think Classic has done a very good job in making it hard for these Phoenixes to figure out what is truly going on. So in this point, now Classic is actually ahead in workers because herO has been so scared. But I do still agree with you. I kind of like herO's position because I think these Phoenixes, you know, there's no timer on them. They will still be useful even later on. Even in a big fight, you know, 160, 170 supply, you fly in, you lift up 3 Immortals. That's amazing.
Hawkeye's herO sees the 3rd Nexus.
Yeah.
And right now he does have 3 additional gateways being added on. What does he do now? Is he going to go for an attack? Is he going to expand? His army's moving across the map here, and he's going to challenge Classic's right to be out in the middle of the map. He has 3 Immortals, 3 sentries with a lot of energy.
It's such a bizarre moment to fight. I do like the army a lot more. 3 Immortals, 5 Zealots as well, and Phoenixes. This is very hard for Classic to
does
fight.
not know this army's here either. The Observer was slightly out of position. He's still inside his main base, but the Oracle is
massive snipe. Oh, that's
survive.
big. That's big. Very, very big. But still, this army is stronger than the army of Classic. But I mean, he is running across the map. Maybe with 1 Colossus, suddenly I like Classic's army a little bit more. But I think this Nexus will get cancelled. There is too much DPS.
Yeah, there's no way he's saving it here. It gets picked off, and he's even going to take a pylon as well. herO behind this is going to expand for himself and continue with his Colossus production. But a little jab here from the Intel Extreme Masters Prince.
Very smart, because he was worried about Classic attacking him, so he fell behind in the worker department, and suddenly he's like, oh man, I misread this a tiny bit. Oh, Classic is going up to 3 bases, let me deny this, and he did. Now he should run back though, like with 1 Colossus there. Okay, now herO has his own Colossus.
Yeah.
Man, it's a really high level PvP. Like, I know maybe if you play Terran or Zerg, you're looking at this and like, nothing is happening. But it's actually a super cool play from both players so far.
Well, Phoenix is coming to the back as he knows the army's at the front door here. He's going to pick up a couple of these probes. Takes 3 for the taking. Lovely move there by herO. Just back and forth with his army and his Phoenixes. And he's even going to move towards the front here, where he's going to find himself a Colossus. Luckily, it's going to move back. And herO's going to fight here. There is a lot of Stalkers in herO. Is this the right move? He goes for it. Double, triple Time Warps coming in from all sides and all angles. And this fight is, I don't even know what's happening under there, Roddy. Phoenix is lifting up Immortals. There's another Colossus that comes into the fight. And herO's taking this fight. And herO is winning this fight, I think. The Phoenix is going to take down the Colossus. They pick up another Immortal.
Doesn't matter how many stocks you have. When you blink into 4 Immortals and Zealots, it's the meat grinder, man. He was lifting up that Immortal as well. Now, these Phoenix is actually really good at shooting down this Colossus.
Excellent here from herO, and that was just perfect judgment from him, realizing that that was a fight he could win, and he did win. And now he's in a fantastic position, a good 20 supply lead. He continues to pick up the units, and herO slam dunks map number 1 with a beautiful fight there that was so close to call. But this guy is so very good at StarCraft. He saw that slight edge and he took it. And he takes map number 1.
And that's one of the beautiful things about Phoenixes, right? Most of the time, you will force your opponent to make way more Blink Stalkers than he wants to. And normally when you make Blink Stalkers in PvP, what do you want to do? You want to take map control. You want to be out on the map. You want to go for that 4-Stalker hit squad, you know, be annoying, pick off a sentry, maybe an Immortal, pick off a lot of probes. When you just use Stalkers to defend, you never want that. And suddenly, you know, your army is kind of crappy. You know, you cannot blink. I mean, I thought it was a hard fight to call as well, because it was just like hallucinations, time warps, Guardian Shield. So it's like, are these Stalkers doing anything? And then suddenly you're just like, ha, no, Stalkers suck against Immortals and Zealots. So extremely bad.
Classic looking a little bit flustered in the booth there, and really similar to a lot of people at home, what just happened? He moved out and got destroyed in a fight, which herO played absolutely perfectly. Wonderful play here from the Intel Extreme Masters champion.
What I think happened there as well is that Classic started the fight with 2 Colossus versus 1, and I think that's why he felt really confident. But right when he made that blinks, Colossus number 2 for herO showed up as well. And I think, you know, if he would have known that second Colossus was there so close, I don't think he would have ever taken that fight.
Well, we talked a little bit about GSL champion versus Star League champion. It's now Kesper Cup and Intel Extreme Masters 3-time champion going against the Star League one. And here we go into map number 2. herO very pleased with how that went, as we saw towards the end of that map with a little fist bump. A great start here for herO as we load into map number 2.
Over here on the right bottom side of Coda, we have our 3-time Intel Extreme Masters champion. It's CGN's herO.
Of course, champion of San Jose, champion of Sao Paulo, champion of Singapore, dating back to 2013. Will he get his 4th trophy today? And as over here to the left-hand side is the blue Protoss player. It is, of course, SK Telecom's Classic, who has played in 2 other Intel Extreme Masters. He finished top 8 twice, way back in Cologne in 2014 and also Taipei earlier on this year.
Who did he lose to in Taipei?
Ooh. Good question. I'll have to have a look.
I feel like I should remember. I think it was a
Roddy, your brain is so...
No, but I wasn't there, though.
It was parting.
Oh.
3-0 in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
I think he lost versus Pultz, if I remember correctly, in Cologne. I think it was a very close 3-2. I'll stat check that for you, Rossi.
Semifinals, no.
Quarterfinals, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's Pultz. And it was indeed Pultz, a 3-2 victory.
That was a great event. I remember you guys were sitting in the studio until like 2 a.m. But
the games were so good.
Yeah, they were all so good. That was one of the best StarCraft I've ever watched from home. I think I was just sitting there and I was like, oh my god. Every series was insane.
Yeah.
Intel Extreme Masters Cologne 2014, definitely one to remember. The last tournament that the other herO won, he was just setting it up for the dominant, or you know, the era of heroes.
Yeah. And remember, a very important point here for all you guys watching, the winner of this is going to Poland as well. Very important part. They will play in the World Championship. Top 2 go. Which player is it going to be? A World Championship without herO doesn't seem to make any sense to me anymore.
Who did herO lose to at the last IM Katowice? I was thinking about it the other day.
SOS in the finals.
No, the last one. SOS didn't win. ZES won the last one against Trap.
That one.
I think herO lost to a Terran, right?
Roddy, I'd have to look it up again. You're making me check in all these things for you.
I like it, man.
I'm checking. Just give me a second.
It's all good. So let's take a look at the openings over here on Coda. So far, everything is very standard. Pylons are in the main bases. Nothing too crazy. Both players
he lost to his teammate Byung. If I remember correctly, it was a very one-sided series because Byung blind countered everything herO was doing. If I remember, I think I casted that one.
Yeah, the Terran, right?
Yeah, Byung.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Now I do.
So here we are, both players having a quick look inside each other's base. Just again, a very standard opening, the opening of Protoss versus Protoss, because this point is the deviation point. This is the pivot swing of where you choose what you want to do, whether it be Twilight or Stargate or Expansion, and it is going to be Twilight Council for herO, going towards his favorite tech choice. Yeah, every Protoss player's favorite tech choice.
Especially on maps like this, you know, on Coda, where you can just hop into the main base so quickly. I kind of feel if you don't open up with a Twilight here, you're forcing kind of a weird game already. And often games are very explosive. Then a lot of people like to go Stargate into Twilight. Just one Oracle, you know, try to get a couple probe kills or at least force the other guy to keep Stalkers in his main base. But if you're very confident and you don't want this game to be random, then you go one gate Twilight on a map like Coda, because that is just by far and away. Where's the Stalker gonna pop? I guess in between, right? Yeah, I was a little bit worried.
on the side. Identical builds from both sides, slightly faster here for herO.
And both players will get a robo as well. Like every now and then on ladder you meet this guy who will go 1 gate Twilight, 4 gate, but that's just such a super all-in build, and it's just not very good. There is like 1 out of 10 scenarios that you can actually get the fight you're dreaming of and have slightly more stalkers, but these guys, they're too good for that. They will drop a robotics facility.
Now, not only position in the grand finals on the line here, but herO stretching so far ahead in WCS rankings. Roddy, he's 500 points ahead of Life, who was #1 for a very, very long time. And with a victory here, of course, herO gets even more points and is almost, well, he is guaranteed to play in BlizzCon at the end of the year. Mothership Core comes in, tries to damage a pro, but then escapes with its life.
Yeah, good call there by Classic not to be greedy. Every now and then you look at it, you're like, I want at least 1 probe. I should be able to get 1 probe, right? But it would have totally lost the Mothership Core. So no greed there. Robotics facility already halfway down for herO. Classic doesn't have it yet. He knows what he's up against, so he scouted everything. So he's going to try to get a fight. He's going to try to get one of these fights where he just has a little bit, you know, small advantage. Yeah, a small advantage in the stalker numbers. And, you know, he's good enough. He's extremely good. This is going to be a joy to watch as a Protoss player, man. Like, these two guys, both Blink, Stalker, Micro. It seems like herO is going to sit on top of his ramp. He doesn't want to take this fight now.
Well, 3 more Stalkers. herO is building up a lot of chunkier units. He's got the robotics facility down. He's got that Immortal down, but right now, Classic's warping in more and more units. Blink's about to complete.
Yeah, but he can't suicide Blink because there is Photon Overcharge available, so you can't really Blink past all these units.
Here we go, Classic. What are you doing here?
You can't do that.
Force Shield gets planted. herO's like, hold on a minute, big guy. What are you doing? herO also sees on the other side of the map no Nexus has been planted, and he even delays it with a pylon, and it's going to go inside the main base for a quick look.
That's such a good little scout, by the way. That's a very, very important scout, because this is something you always want to know in PvP, but you can't always get the confirmation of. So something like this looks minor, but this gives herO so much intel.
Yeah, good move here from herO, and unfortunately Classic gambled a little bit, trying to catch herO off guard, but no such thing as herO moves down, takes his expansion freely, and is a great position now. Robotics facility down much earlier, second Immortal almost out. Wonderful, wonderful position to be in.
Yep, made a lot less Stalkers, and that's not necessarily always an advantage, because some of these guys are so good that they will still make Stalkers work in a phase in a game where normally you just can't get anything done with them.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like, well, what herO has done right now, he's put the ball in Classic's corner. It's like, hey man, you made 11 Stalkers, I only made 6. So you better do something with them. Otherwise, you know, eventually our armies are going to clash, and I will just laugh at you with your 11 Stalkers, because in a big fight, they're not going to make the difference.
Faster Forge coming in now from herO. Everything just going the way of CJ's herO as he gets closer and closer towards the grand finals of the Intellic Masters. But really what does Classic do?
Yeah, I really want Classic to start doing something now over here. It's like, come on, mate, you made so many Stalkers. He's going to scout over here, and he's going to spot that herO has way less Stalkers. So this is still a moment where you can definitely do something with it. And there is not always a massive timer on your Stalkers, but you don't just want to keep them on your side of the map, because then you make it way too easy for a guy like herO to capitalize on the advantage.
Well, someone's moving out, and his name is Classic. Stalkers to action. He's got a lot of them, and he needs to do something. herO's moving forward with the Hallucinated Phoenix. He sees, okay, wait a minute. Okay, seems pretty normal. I'm ahead in every regard. There's no Forge, there's no gases on the natural, but where are the Stalkers? That's surely what herO's going to be thinking. They're in the middle of the map. What can Classic get done?
It's going to be hard, though. It's going to definitely be hard to find an opening. I think what he's going to try to do is poke at the front and then blink 4 Stalkers into the main base.
He's going to jump in the main base here. He's got an observer.
Everything?
Yes, he is. Well, with half of them at the moment, he's going to try and get towards the probe line. herO Photon Overcharge goes down, and nothing is achieved. A single pylon. And that's it. A single pylon and a loss of his observer. Everything is going wrong for Classic today. Not a good series so far for him. He's being outclassed at the moment by the Prince.
And that was really awkward as well, because I feel either you blink with everything in the main base, or you blink only with 4.
Yeah.
Because 6 or 7 is extremely counterproductive. Like, they only block each other into the main base, and you can't really focus fire on pros because it's massive overkill. So I feel it's either everything or it's 4. There is never really a moment for 6 or 7.
herO squeezed out a Warp Prism, which is not going to be spotted here by Classic. He has a quick look inside, sees the robotic space, sees the Forge blurring away, and he just knows he's in a bad position. Everything's just so much slower. Stalker's looking for a different angle. Warp Prism gonna escape here, unfortunately, for Classic. Couldn't quite see it.
Could smell it.
Could smell it if Stalkers had noses. But they don't.
They don't? They don't have a mouth.
They definitely don't have a nose, Roddy. Do you see a nose on a Stalker?
Yeah, it's maybe below the mask. Aren't they wearing this to sign a little mask? I think Flo needs to zoom in on a Stalker.
There's clearly no Stalker on that armor. No Stalker, no nose on that
They wear a
armor.
little sky mask. You see that?
It's like an eye.
No, it's a little sky mask.
Well, Classic's moving forward here. Warp Prism hanging around. Looking to warp some Zealots in, drop some Zealots in. But for now, Classic's going to try again. It's like a gambler. Nasty addiction. Keeps digging himself a bigger hole. Let's see if he can get some gain from this time. He jumps in.
Well, get the Robo, man. Just get the Robo. That's already good enough. Then you're really going to buy a lot of time for yourself. He's going to be able to cancel this Colossus as well and just get the hell out of there. Maybe
Stalker as well. And herO's waiting.
Okay, this is going to get really awkward now. I'm not sure if herO should take that fight, man.
Oh, Classic's a little bit worried he's going to escape, not really realizing how much of herO's army or how big herO's army is in his first place.
Those units were pretty exposed. I actually think Classic could have been able to get a reasonable fight there, but oh my god, he used F2?
Why is the Warp Prism here?
Because he used F2 like I would.
F2, if you didn't know, brings everything around. It controls every single unit you have, and apparently the Warp Prism is now with the army. Not so good there from herO. Slight mistake here, and
wow, and suddenly Classic is up 15 supply. herO now, he does have thermal lens, correct?
He's moving out to the other side of the map, Rotterdam. He's putting up
with one Colossus.
And he's warping in 6 Zealots. He's going to go for this, but
I think
Classic's about to walk up here and whoa, hold on a second.
Oh my god, without extra reinforcement, with 2 Colossus, Classic, you can take that fight. You should blink forward
he blinks forward, he's trying to get rid of the ballistic core because then herO's stuck. herO turns around and fights, but who's actually going to win this one? 2 Colossus for Classic dealing a lot of damage. herO saves the Zealots to drop them on top of the army. He then used the Warp Prism to warp even more units in. And herO, what the hell is going wrong for Classic today? He goes for a fight, he thinks he can win, and just like that, it gets flipped on its head. And herO is the one that pushes Classic back.
But now we have the reinforcements coming in, though, and Classic still has money in the bank as well. It were those 5 or 6 extra Zealots that were coming in that really made the difference there a little bit. But in the end, I still feel this is alrighty for Classic. Great, Colossus advantage.
Yeah, great position in there by herO to use the cover of the shrubbery in the middle of the map behind that Xel'Naga tower. No sight range was available for Classic to fight into that. And herO backs off his army, but you know, things are looking good for Classic, and then they just turn so drastically. What's going wrong? Is it his engagements? Is it just being a little bit unlucky?
Yeah, I mean, like, twice there's extra units from herO walking into the screen that he didn't see. Like, he's making the correct calls for what he sees, and then, you know, like a split second later, it's like, okay, maybe this wasn't the correct call. But he's still in an okay-ish position. This is definitely hurting him, though.
Yeah, until now, yeah. 4 Zealots in your mineral, and his army's on the other side of the map, and he's got nothing here at the moment.
Colossus is gonna pop if you warp in 2 Zealots defensively, and then your Colossus can take care of it. I don't think he should walk up that ramp.
Classic's gonna fight, Roddy.
Yeah, Classic shouldn't fight in the natural, in my opinion. He should try to cancel the 3rd base. That's a much better choice.
Well, he's having a look. He blinks forward.
Well,
he's going to go for it. Classic's going to fight up this ramp here if he messes this up.
Okay.
herO's going up 2-0.
But I think with 3 Colossus in charge, that should be good enough, Sean, right? That should be good enough. 2nd Colossus has arrived for herO, but
there's no pylon here, remember. There's no reinforcements at all for Classic, so he's going to be able to warp in herO to help himself. 3 Colossus still alive, though, and herO's units are trapped at the back. There's another Colossus about to come out from herO. Where are the warp-ins from herO? I think they were aggressive on the other side of the map, but he needs them here to fight and defend.
2nd Colossus is gonna arrive, though. I've seen a lot of Stalkers because there's no Immortal. Well, there's one Immortal.
2nd Colossus pops on the wrong side, but Stalkers blink forward, and herO's gonna go for it. He's gonna take this fight. And Archon dealing a lot of damage to the pros here. And is herO going to hold on?
Wow, this is such a bizarre fight, Sean. This is actually really, really hard to call, but it seems
Warp
like...
Prison coming back as well. It's going to drop these Zealots on top of the Colossus. herO continues to try to hold on. He's lost 16 probes. One of the Colossus goes down. The last remaining Colossus goes down. But an additional warp in from herO as he gets 5 Stalkers to blink on top of the Colossus and Immortal, trying to bring them down slowly but surely. But another Colossus comes, and Classic equalizes up the series 1-1.
Wow. What a wild game, an absolutely wild game on Kodai, where it looked like herO was definitely in the driver's seat, you know, had things in control for a little while, but then there were those 10, 11 Blink Stalkers that blinked into the main base, sniped that robotics facility, and that suddenly forced herO to make a couple of choices that I don't think he would have ever made normally. He's just like, oh god, I'm gonna fall behind in the Colossus count. I'm gonna try to get a fight, and that fight, it went okay-ish, but it didn't go great, and from that point on, it was just madness. Like, I had no idea whose weapons were whose anymore, and so point. The fights were crazy, but fun game though. Really fun game.
No more fist pumps from herO. Not all flowers and daisies and strawberries at the Intel Extreme Masters, Roddy. Sometimes it's pretty tough out there, and herO got served, and Classic equalizes up 1-1.
First map he dropped all tournament, correct?
That's right, Roddy. He's been on a tear.
Was 8-0 in maps so far at the Intel Extreme Masters in Shenzhen. Now he knows what losing is once more, but you know, when it comes to PvP, everybody knows what losing is once in a while.
Very close series overall between the two of them, but it is herO who's edging out mostly, but Classic puts up a fight. And as we get ready for game number 3, it's going to be on Terraform, one of the new maps to the Intel Extreme Masters. And as we get closer and closer towards the grand finals.
It's the best of 3 from this point, Sean. 1-1 in the best of 5. The first player to win the next 2 maps, or 2 out of the next 3 maps, will advance to the finals of the Intel Extreme Masters in Shenzhen. And I think they're pretty damn evenly matched so far.
All right, up here to the top left-hand side, it is none other than the 3-time champion himself. It's CJ's herO. What do I do this game?
It's really funny because in the start of the game, these guys, they don't take it like, they're not spamming too furiously. He's just like kind of scratching his face. In the previous game, Classic was adjusting his hair. He's like, gotta look good on the GoPro, man. Like, you know.
Gotta look good on the GoPro.
On the right bottom side, representing SKT1 Telecom, it is herO. No, Classic. Wow, I'm really good at that. Classic.
I could do him if you want me to, Roddy.
Yes, it's all you from this point, Sean. No, I was just thinking about herO.
Who isn't thinking about herO?
I know, he's such a, you know, the smiling assassin for a reason, right?
That's right. Yes, he is. He's not smiling right now, though. I'm sure he will be later, once he's won, if he wins. But
you know,
we'll see.
I looked up the history between these two, and Classic actually had a minor winning record against herO, like 8 wins and 7 losses, I believe, overall in maps. And that really surprised me, because I always felt, you know, like Classic, I know he's very good, but I always thought that herO was a tiny bit better. And I felt, especially when it would come to PvP, that herO would have a winning record against Classic. But, you know, I was wrong. And above all, Classic won the most important encounter they ever had, which was the quarterfinals at BlizzCon last year.
Which did, of course, give Classic the road to the semis, where unfortunately wasn't able to advance to the finals.
You know where he lost to?
MMA.
Damn, you're so good, Sean. You talk about my brain.
I just get lucky, man.
If I could have anyone's brain in this industry, I would get the brain of Sean Apollo Clark.
Yeah?
Yeah. All those beautiful memories that you've saved up in that brain over the years.
Thank you, man. Take that as a compliment.
You should.
Thank you. And Classic having a quick look around. No proxy gateways are going to kill him this game, he says. He checks inside his main base, natural. Well, not really behind the natural, but around the natural. And up towards his third base. As you can see, the leftover fog of war.
herO has really not been scouting for proxies, but he is playing it very safe when he queues up the Zealot.
Yep.
So in case he gets proxy, then at least he's going to have his Zealot and he doesn't have to start it very late. So this is kind of a way of playing very safe without scouting. He will most likely cancel the Zealot. I'd be extremely surprised if this Zealot, you know, finishes up.
Classic does, of course, sacrifice just a tiny little bit of economy by the way that he's been moving this probe around. Obviously not doing its job and not working very fast does slow him down a little bit, but he's couple of corners to get this Stargate out at a good speed.
And that is the downside again of herO's opening. You know, when normally you scout, you also scout the other side of the map, and then at least you will force your opponent to wait for his stack to drop after he has a Mothership Core or a Stalker, so those units can take care of the scouting probe, and that's when you drop your tech. But Classic right now is like, well, you know, if you're doing this little Zealot thing, then you're not actually scouting, you have nothing on my side of the map, I'm just gonna drop my tech as soon as possible. So this Stargate, this time it is an Oracle most likely. I know I said it before when I was very surprised that herO went for Phoenixes, but this is like an Oracle, 99% sure. There you go, Sean.
Wasn't the 1% today.
No. It never really is.
Double gateways off the back end of the Twilight Council on Blink for herO, who still doesn't know exactly what he's playing against, but he does have the Mothership Core on the other side of the map, just slightly north of this Stalker, and he's going to try and find out what's going on.
Ooh, that Stalker is a little bit out of position for Classic.
Look at this one, though. This one's in the perfect position to push this back, and if herO could see the Stargate, he can start his preparation for the Oracle, but with a Mothership Core on the other side of the map...
I don't think he's going to see it, though. I think that's actually really
he's
bad.
He's going to go in, and he's going to have to recall, which means no energy on the Mothership Core.
Exactly.
So what units does herO have inside that main base? He goes in, he sees the Twilight Council, he sees the Stargates.
That is massive, because now he will keep all 3 Stalkers that he has in his mineral line. Just look at the mineral line right now of herO, and he's going to have 3 Stalkers ready to salute that Oracle.
What's up?
How you doing, baby girl?
Pretty good, actually. Kill 2 probes. How you doing?
David, that wasn't supposed to happen. Oh,
Even
3.
gets a third.
But still, this is still a good Oracle, you know. He kills 3 workers, gets a great scout off, knows that his opponent is expanding. Classic is most likely going to expand, unless he really wants to roll some dice here.
Yeah, he's moving a probe down. I think he's going to expand here, get that blink up and running, but...
Is it though? Is that... Yeah, I think you're right.
Quick pylon first. Probe is out there, as you can see, for herO to have a quick look about to see if his opponent has an expansion. 3 Stalkers too. They do have blink. Oh, he's found a 4th probe. Lucky Oracle.
That's so great. And it's not just the 4th probe, Sean. It's the probe that was supposed to build a pylon on this side of the map, when normally herO can enjoy, you know, a blink stalker advantage. My stalkers have blink. Your stalkers don't have blink yet. That is actually such a big snipe. I can't believe Classic just found that probe. Deny that pylon. Now herO can't do anything with the fact that he has quicker blink.
Lady Luck starting to swing in favor of Classic now.
PvP is so much about momentum as well. It's suddenly like all those small
I thought you were about to say it's so much about luck there, Roddy.
No. I mean, obviously, you know, in StarCraft 2, in every matchup, I feel there's a little bit of luck involved every now and then. But in PvP, you can make so many good plays. And if I go up against these guys, you know, like I play this matchup all the time, I watch it all the time, but I'm not going to win because, you know, this is so much better. They will find a way to make a difference. And of course, the closer players are in skill level, the harder it is to sometimes make the difference. But, you know, I feel in 9 out of 10 scenarios, the better player is going to win.
Blink now finishing up for Classic, and he's feeling a lot more comfortable now with this stun, knowing that herO also has blink. He can start to move around the map and feel a little bit free with his Stalkers. But when it comes to the builds now, we have the robotics facility coming in for Classic a little bit later than herO, but both players in a very similar position. Again, herO slightly faster, and the Forge is going to come down earlier.
I still think herO's a little bit salty about losing that probe, because normally he knows that, like, okay, the Oracle did something on my side, but at least I have, you know, faster blink, so I will be able to make some plays, maybe get a couple of favorable trades, maybe cancel your Nexus, you know, in an ultimate dream scenario. And instead, he got absolutely nothing done with the fact that his blink was so much quicker than the one of Classic, and that is not something that's nice. You don't just forget about that.
Nice scout there from Classic, just checking the gases, knowing that his opponent is teching up further, getting more upgrades, more technology, keeps his eyes on it as well. Cast the Revelation spell across Stalkers, probes, and also gases.
So cute when they have the little triangle above their head.
Yep, nice vision there, as you can see from Classic. Knows exactly what's going on. Even catches the robotics bay at the back there. So lovely jubbly.
Yeah, of course that is something you expect. He's going to drop his own robotics base a little bit later. When it comes to the workers, it's 40, you know, on both sides. Blink goes down. Is he going to get the Oracle? Nope, not yet. Now he could actually swing in and try to...
Oh, look at this little bait here. Goes for the Oracle, and Classic has Stalkers ready to pounce. And he does get the Oracle eventually, but...
Which Photon Overcharge it was?
Did he lose the mothership? Did we miss that?
Yeah.
He lost the mothership.
Against the Stalkers from Classic.
Wow.
That's really bizarre that Classic is suddenly making plays with Blink Stalkers in a phase in the game where I'm sure herO didn't expect that. So well done by Classic.
Yep.
That's actually really well done. Oh, herO's moving out. There's a small engagement over here in the middle.
Catches the Stalker of Classics. He's going to blink away and escape. He's going to try and get one more. No, it is going to happen. Nice pick up there from herO.
Stalker count is 7 against 8 in favor of herO.
Yeah.
That blink across the middle line.
A couple of little skirmishes here, just trying to edge ahead of each other.
Wow.
Small little wins there by Classic, to be honest.
That is so traditional by herO.
What is?
The second robotics facility? That is something that I haven't seen in a long time. I mean, ever since the Tempest changed, some people have been doing it a little bit again, because, you know, in the old days you get out one Tempest and it's like 700 damage on your Colossus. Now it's a little bit harder to get the right amount of Tempest, but people going double robo before they're up to 3 bases, that's really pretty rare, to say the least. I don't see this very often.
You're looking to ramp up that Colossus production to have a far superior army compared to what Classic's going to have, and that's something which Classic ideally would like to see, but he's just lost an observer outside his main base. The observer of herO, goes through to the natural and having a look around. But if Classic does not identify this, he's going to be stuck on a very similar army, just with half the amount of Colossus, Roddy, and obviously that's going to be fantastic for herO.
Yeah, then herO is just going to take the look. Is going to look to take a fight when he has 8 or 9 Colossus.
Well, there's hallucinated Phoenix going forward, mate, through the middle of the map, and this is exactly what Classic needs. Is he going to spot what he needs to, though? Come on!
And he also needs to spot the fact that herO's already going up to 3 bases. Like, it seems like Classic wants to go for a 2-base attack or something.
Classic's not looking in the right places. He's having a look on the 3rd base, and he has not spotted it yet. There's still a little bit of time left. Sees a Colossus, but doesn't do anything else with this hallucinated Phoenix, and the information is not going to be gathered.
Yeah, that's actually quite poor scouting. He could have done a lot more. I know it's a free unit, so some people just be like, you know, whatever, I can send another one later, but that would have helped him so much. Now he knows that his Nexus is later, and I don't even know what he's supposed to do, though. The moment he spots the fact that it's like, oh god, you've been pumping out from double Robo, and you have a quicker Nexus. He might actually end up losing the Nexus over here.
No, Classic. You can't let opportunities slip like this. He's going to lose his Nexus. It gets cancelled. There's 5 additional gateways on the way for herO. He's got so many Colossus, and the Intellect Stream Masters Prince is going to be wanting to take a fight soon. And if he does, it is going to go his way. The sheer amount of power from these Colossus is going to absolutely destroy Classic.
Yeah, like herO hasn't even been building any probes either. He's going to get another cancel. This is ridiculous.
Oh, man.
Wow.
There is 5 Colossus waiting at home for herO, and now he starts his march to the middle of the map. He's got a probe, he's got a pilot, he's building it. +2 attack, not too far away. And Classic is just going to be... He's out in the middle of the map. What are you doing here? He has absolutely no idea in a game of information that has not been gathered.
And herO also only has 46 workers. Like, herO wanted to take this kind of fight all along. And Classic is going to be so surprised.
Classic's
oh my
god, get out of here. And this is going to be no photon overcharge to use for the defense because he's used up the energy on the mothership core. And now comes herO to go up 2 games to 1 in the semi-finals here.
Massive counter-attack on the left top side of the map. A lot of
he decides to come back to defend it. I guess if he could just continue on here, he gives Classic time.
Just run across the map. Kill
He's got to go, man.
He has to make sure that he kills the pilot.
Was it even worth coming back for that? Do you really need to save it? I mean, I guess it's a nice thing to keep alive, but there's still a pylon somewhere that he doesn't know about. There can still be more Zealots warped in that he doesn't know about. Yeah, and this is buying Classic the time he needs.
Yeah, these Zealots might actually get this Nexus. Well, Colossus, I think these Zealots are going to get the Nexus, Sean.
Oh, well, Classic, herO, you might as well not have even recalled.
Oh, that one Zealot can fight. It might make
He's going to get it anyway. herO's going to fight now. But Classic brought some viable time, but is the time for the Templar Archives, which is what he bought time for, going to be enough to hold on versus this attack?
Man, herO has 22 Zealots now, and all of them have charged as well.
Look at the Colossus dealing so much damage, and this was the strategy from herO, and Classic did not find out about it in enough time, and he is paying the ultimate price. And what is the ultimate price, Roddy? It is to lose, and he is going to be destroyed here, and oh dear.
Yeah, just way too many Colossus on the side of herO. He's going to wipe the floor with his army of Classic, and GG is called. herO takes a very cheeky 2-1 lead. Went up to 3 bases very quickly, but didn't really build a whole lot of workers. Was pumping out on double Robo instead. And Classic was just misreading the game. Just poor scouting, man. Like, I know those units are free, but he could have done so much more with his hallucinated Phoenixes.
Back to the comfort zone now for herO. In a great position to go where he wants to. Of course, the grand finals, but Classic. Oh dear, dear. Some mistakes have been coming out today, and that scouting was one of them. We saw the hallucinated Phoenix just hovering around, not doing anything, and at this level of a tournament, you cannot make these types of plays, especially going up against the player that is herO.
Our next map is going to be played on Cactus Valley, and Cactus Valley is a pretty damn unique map in PvP. It's one of those maps where we very often see those mass Phoenix versus Phoenix dogfights, or we see super quick Dark Templars. So it could be a quick one, could be a long one.
Yeah, here's Classic on screen, and let's hope he's thinking about this next map. But one thing that I would be thinking if I was him is, why didn't I see that? Why didn't I see that coming?
He just really misread it. I mean, it was a very unorthodox strategy there by herO to go up to 3 bases, but not really build any workers, and just go very old school, traditional 6-7 Colossus as quick as possible. It just felt like all the pieces fell in the right place. And let's not forget that double cancel he got on the 3rd base of Classic. That forced Classic to move out in the first place, you know, and it was like he didn't even want to do that.
If you're just tuning in now on Sunday, the last couple of matches remaining, you can check out all of the action and highlights at plays.tv. Go over there and see some of the highlights, some of the exciting moments that we've had here at the Intellect Stream Masters. We've had a lot of action over the last couple of days. We started with 16 players on Friday, and now we're just left with 4. And one of them is going to be eliminated very soon here within the next hour or so. It's either Classic or it's either herO.
You're very ambitious for a PvP, Sean.
Well, the way that it's going, Roddy, these games are going long. They're having fun. And if we go to Game 5, we could get into another hour. But let's find out. Semi-final number 1 at the first StarCraft tournament in the Intel Masters for the season.
herO just one map win away from doing where he has been already 4 times, looking for his 5th appearance in a grand final of Intel Extreme Masters. He's spotting on the left top side of Cactus Valley. It's CG Enters herO.
Killer face today.
Cheeky. A little cheeky.
He's got cheeks, Roddy, so I guess we can call it cheeky. Up here to the top right-hand side. There's the blue Protoss player. It's classic.
You've been on fire this tournament, Sean.
I don't know why. Maybe it's the food, because it's hot. Get it? I'm on fire because I'm eating spicy food, no? Lame.
That's a really bad joke for me to make.
For every lame sentence, line, and joke I make, there's usually one that's good. Sometimes. Very rarely, but sometimes.
I love how you're talking to people at the analysis desk, and the people at home can't see this. Well, like right now,
I'm talking to the people at home.
No, you were kind of talking with Artosis and Chopra, but the people at home don't see it, and they're probably wondering, it's like, why isn't Roddy saying anything right now? That's because Sean is living in his own little world over here. This is his own little playground.
Roddy, we are a casting Archon here together. You are in my bubble.
That's true.
We are together in this.
It's a great place to be, actually. Every single time I am in your bubble, I feel great.
As you should. All right. One difference here is herO's not taking that second gas yet compared to Classic Roddy. The difference between the two. Why is he leaving it a little bit later than normal?
Not sure. Could be for many reasons. He could also try to go for a cheeky 3-gate. Like, we haven't really seen any 3-gate aggression yet, and that is actually still a very popular opening in PvP. So it could be that he wants to do something like that. He's going to get his gas now, of course.
What's the advantage then of going double gas at one time or taking the second gas after the Cybercore? What's the advantage of going for what herO's done?
You know, you're asking me something. I have always done it the way that herO does it. I like just taking my first gas and then mine a little bit more minerals and get the second gas. I think there's one downside to it, is that they can steal your gas on 2-player maps, and that can be rather frustrating. On the other hand, you know, like obviously Classic is going to have slightly more gas quicker, so if he wants to go for a very quick Stargate, he's going to have more gas to work with.
He also has the option here by scouting late, something that not too many people think about back at home, but when you scout your opponent last, you have a choice. Now, knowing where he is, to proxy a structure now anywhere along this left-hand side. Whether he does that or not, he's not going to. It is inside the main base here again.
So very, very quick Stargate is going to be the choice of Classic. I mean, that is the advantage, of course, that he gets from Double Simulator. He can start Mothership Core and Stargate at the same time. There's a chance herO will still go for a Stargate as well. Like, I feel Stargate is the best option on this map. But it's just going to be a little bit later. He's going to go for a Twilight instead. Not necessarily bad, because, you know, Twilight can do okay against Stargate. Since Classic is Stargate was so quick, I'm still kind of leaning towards Oracle. But a lot of Protoss players open up with Phoenix over here. But I think he's going to go Oracle. We'll see.
I love that Classic is really taking advantage of herO, who's just saying no to scouting. I feel like he's got one of those signs saying, say no to scouting.
He's asking for it in Game 5, man. In Game 5, if we do get a Game 5, he's just going to get it.
He is asking for it.
So we're going to get a very similar opening over here as we had on Terraform, where it's just Oracle against 1-gate Twilight into 3-gate. herO is going to chrono boost it quite a bit. He might actually commit a lot more to aggression. Wow, Classic, you're so ambitious right now. There's no way he's going to be able to defend.
herO is just not scouting, and think about this too. It is a 4-player map. He can't just send a Mothership Core somewhere and hope to find the Stargate as he did previously. So he's got to be in a defensive posture, which he currently is. The Oracle's on its way. But what is he really going to do with the Mothership Core, the Photon Overcharge, and Stalkers around, and a boot?
And this Oracle is going to spot it. Very good how he moved that Oracle a little bit north. So he spotted the Nexus, but the Nexus didn't see the Oracle. All right, the unit's out of position a little bit. I would okay, just single Photon Overcharge. Gets 2 workers. It's not bad.
Yeah, just over half health left on the Oracle. As looks like herO's going to have a quick look at what his opponent's doing and pushes the Oracle to almost its final last couple of hit points.
Still a really good scout there for herO, because he gets the confirmation. It's like, oh my god, what is my opponent doing? He's opening up Oracle into Nexus. Like, this is This is a build that actually a couple of the orcs, I want to say, a couple of the Protoss players were using in 2013.
Get your brain back in StarCraft, Rotty. This is not Warcraft.
I know. We all miss that game, especially when we're in China, man. So many wonderful memories. Whoa.
Feels like a classic. I mean, you talked about his risky build, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, is he taking risks because he feels that he can't quite challenge herO? What is this?
I have no idea. I think it's more just like it's a 4-player map. I don't want to be out-greeted by my opponent. There's a good chance herO is going to play greedy because he's up 2-1 in the series. I just want to make sure I don't fall behind. But this is so insane because now herO, he opened up with a Twilight, he's getting a Robo, and he's getting a Stargate. So is he going to open up Oracle into Phoenix? Is that's his choice? Like not many Phoenixes, but just one Phoenix to hunt down the Oracles of Classic? I have no idea what the thought process is behind this.
I reckon he should build Void Rays.
Sean, keep it together.
I love Void Rays.
I mean,
it's a game of strategy. You can build what you want if you can make it work.
They have, just somehow to defend your silly argument.
You can. It is a strategy.
And
you
it is.
use it.
They spawned horizontal positions, so there is a chance you can just march across the map with Immortal Void Ray. Can sometimes be hard to deal with, but he's going to open up with Phoenix.
Yep.
I think what he wants to do with the Phoenix is just hunt down the Oracle of Classic. I'm not sure if he's going to make more than that. Maybe if he makes 3 or 4 Phoenixes, they will pay for themselves eventually, but it's very strange to make Phoenixes in this phase in a game. And if you guys wonder at home right now, like, well, why, Roddy? You kept going on about how amazing Phoenix are. And like, Phoenixes are extremely good if you can pick off workers when, let's say, your opponent is on 24, 25, 26 workers. If you then kill 3 or 4 probes, you kill, over 10% of his entire economy. But by now, both players, they're already at 42 or 37. So if 3 or 4 Phoenixes kill 3 or 4 probes, it has a much smaller impact.
And herO here, about to deny Classic's Observer inside his main base, but he has no key structures down. No Forge, no Robotics Bay. No clear choice right now. He's just building Phoenixes. This has taken a turn, an interesting one, because Classic has everything of those. +1 attack on the way. Twilight Council coming in for the continuation of upgrades and Blink, but herO is investing a lot of time and money into these Phoenixes, Roddy.
I know, and he wants to get at Oracle so badly. He's finally going to be able to get it over here as the Oracle has dropped Revelation. Now Phoenixes are like, all right, We got him, ladies and gentlemen. We're on the hunt.
Don't you dare leave that hallucinated Phoenix there, Classic. You are not doing this for 2 games in a row.
Look at this is Top Gun over here. What a patrol. This actually looks really cool, man. We need some epic Top Gun soundtrack next to this. It's like,
all right, Oracle down, but that hallucinated Phoenix is still hovering on that natural.
Yeah, it has seen.
Come on, man.
But what do you want him to see?
Everything. Go inside the main base, have a look around.
Okay. No, I can see it.
He doesn't see anything.
He just spotted 4 or 5 Phoenixes. That's a pretty big tell.
Well, I would still like to be fully efficient with everything I can use, Roddy.
All right, so he's going to get 2 defensive cannons on each base. Here we go once again. So right now the worker count is 47 against 44 in favor of herO. He will most likely be able to get a slightly bigger lead because of these Phoenixes, but I feel like you need to do quite a bit with it. Of course, it gives you a lot of map presence and map control, and it's very nice. Look at this Classic. He's going to get a second Stargate.
Oh, wow. He's challenging the Phoenix count, and now it's up to herO to be the one to scout. This is a big move coming out. Right now, herO is tickled in the outskirts of Classic space. They're kind of a loose probe here, or a loose probe over there. But if he gets inside and sees this...
herO's pulling a Roddy over here, and he's getting a double Twilight console. It's like, herO, you open up with Blink Stalkers, mate. I'm pretty damn sure that you already have a Twilight.
Yeah, so there it is.
This, I guess the reason why Classic is going for his second Stargate and Phoenix production himself is because he feels like, well, I don't have Blink Stalkers, and these Phoenixes are going to kill workers for days. That's just going to be too annoying. I'm going to overwhelm him with my Phoenixes. So then, the tables are suddenly turned again.
Can he take it into a fight, a full-blown fight? Let's say he takes 10 Phoenix to 5. Can he turn it into an engagement over here against herO that could win in the game?
Yeah, because he does have a stronger ground army already. Are the Phoenixes going to spot this? He didn't see it, though. No. I don't think the vision... Let's double check this one real quick. But herO did not see that units were in production. He didn't see the second Stargate. He has no idea. And I think the best thing, if you guys wondering, like, what should herO do as soon as he knows? Like, this is getting very complicated, I know, but this is PvP in a nutshell, is maybe drop a Templar Archives and start mining of 6 gas and get Archons. This is so silly.
Phoenix is coming around to the gases again.
He's going to lose them right now. Classic is like, surprise!
Yeah, he's going to lose everyone, and herO just, that's it, they're all gone. So it's going to be Classic who takes to the skies, and what does he do with it?
I think he should try to cancel this third base, though. I think that is his best chance. He has a massive army supply.
Yeah.
Phoenixes do chip away at Colossus.
He may go for the win here, Roddy.
It's not massive damage, but they do some work. So herO, herO will be more than happy if Classic doesn't attack. But Classic, of course, he will try to attack. He's going to at least try to put herO back on 2 bases.
All right, big supply advantage in terms of army for Classic. He's moving forward. He picks up a Stalker. And he even picks up another warping in unit, and a second one at that too. He's not really fighting all together here, but he is picking up a lot of these units. And here comes Classic with a move with the Stalker power. And he picks up quite a few of these units, continuing to lift them up. Very cost-efficient pickups.
Yeah, he just pretty much killed all those Stalkers. I think it's a little bit strange. He's fighting within photon no charge range, but only Phoenixes. He lost a lot of his own Phoenixes. herO shot at his own Stalker over there.
Continuing
but I still think it's going to be good enough. If he drops the time warp on those Colossus...
Alright, drops it on the Stalkers. They blink straight out of it, and Classic's going to take a fight. Is he going to win it, though? Because if he does, we're going to game 5.
2 Immortals over there, Sean. Phoenix is still alive. Classic should easily win this fight. What a crazy PvP this was. So many mind games, so many tech switches. It didn't really make a whole lot of sense anymore. Somehow, actually, herO won that fight on the ground. Yeah. But the Phoenixes are going to still reset the Colossus count. But that's still really good for herO, because now he's on 3 bases. How the hell did that suddenly happen? How did those Immortals die?
He holds on. Phoenix is going to try and do as much damage as they can while they're still alive. But right now, herO holds on. And he got a lot of Stalkers left. And all of a sudden, that just turned around and herO is back in the driving seat.
That made no sense at all. It's a bunch of Stalkers that suddenly changed the outcome of that fight. The Immortals died, that Colossus died. I really think Classic dropped the ball heavily on his time warp. He should have just right-clicked on those 3 Colossus and killed those Colossus, and then he would have had the time of his life.
Well, he's got to go for it again. He has no third Nexus. It is all or nothing here for Classic. He's still got a lot of Phoenixes, and they have a lot of energy.
And they're still so good. Like, it's so hard to deal with Phoenix in this phase in the game. And herO just doesn't have the gas to get Archons.
I mean, he's got 8 Stalkers somewhere. They're coming back to defend, hopefully, because right now his third is going to be under pressure. Probes will die.
That sounds like the start of a movie.
Probes will die.
They're really bad.
And here comes the Stalkers. Mothership core down.
All right, where's the pylon for Classic, though? It's very important that there's a pylon nearby, and I don't see any, actually.
No.
Pylon is on this side. Oh my god, he's on this side of the map without a pylon. He has 1,000 minerals as well. He's going to drop 1 Phoenix, maybe the second one, too.
Not quite. Yet. Phoenix is still flying around. They find themselves a Colossus here, and the Stalkers have to jump to action.
That's good. I would be very careful with my energy. But I guess the stock count is too high right now. He's just going to reset the work account a little bit. Classic is going up to 3 bases during all this.
And now he's got to start to think about a counter from all these Stalkers. He's starting to build up his own Colossus count and rebuilding something a lot more solid that could deal with these Stalkers. Because herO's got a lot of them.
Yeah, Classic has no Thermal Lance either. He's starting it right now. He does have +2, while herO only has +1. Now maybe Blink Stalk.
Is herO going to catch him mid-transition is the question. He's behind in upgrades, but it is getting too much here. There's so many Zealots. An Immortal Colossus, if he jumps anywhere near that, Phoenix are going to lift up, and this won't work. But at the very minimal, he may be able to pick up this Nexus.
That would still be pretty damn big. Well, he has to be very careful, because Phoenixes are kind of like Raiders in Warcraft 3 right now. So you made me think about it.
Roddy, get out of that, man.
I'm sorry, man. You can just force these fights. You can get secured kills. You can end
if we're going to go down that way, Roddy, Immortals are like tanks from Command & Conquer, man.
Oh, Sean. Oh, Sean. But
nothing to say?
Me?
No,
you're just dancing.
That was kind of funny. Never mind.
I don't think Immortal, like, if you would go with Siege tanks, I'd say okay, but Immortals?
There's no Siege tanks in this game. There's Immortals.
It is in the other race, though, Sean.
Roddy, we're playing a Protoss versus Protoss.
Oh. Okay, so what's your point with them being like Siege tanks?
They're like tanks from Command & Conquer.
Yeah, but like, so what role do they serve in this upcoming battle? A couple of feedbacks go down. He doesn't get secured kills, though, so that's a little bit unfortunate.
It doesn't matter, Roddy. We'll talk about this another time. As Phoenix is continuing to be a nuisance here. All very, very low in hit points.
Yeah, of course, a couple of feedbacks went down, but he got a Colossus, and he got 2 High Templars. It's a lot of gas that he just got for those Phoenixes. I think Classic is still in an absolutely phenomenal position. I was so surprised by the moment that those Immortals disappeared, but he still kept all his Phoenixes alive, and he forced herO to make a lot of units he normally didn't really want to make. And eventually Classic was able to go up to 3 bases. Still had an upgrade advantage as well, so it's just taking him a little longer, but he's still in a really solid position.
Yeah, +3 attack on the way. Templar Archives now coming in. herO is going to move to the other sides by the looks of it, or just kind of... Where are you going? What are you doing? Looks like he is moving to the center, but taking a fight against this Armada.
It's just very difficult because normally with Blink Stalkers, at least you can try to look for openings, and Blink 4 Stalkers pass. But if you do it right now, they will just all get picked up and they will just all die. And even if you send all of your Stalkers, if the army is in position, Phoenixes will fly in, lift up 4 or 5 Stalkers, and you're not going to get a whole lot done. So it's very difficult for herO right now to figure out what is the right play to make. And to be honest with you, I don't really have the answer.
Oh, he's got a pylon down. He's going to have to blink out of there. A little bit scary as these Zealots do chase. And the Phoenix is building up so much energy there. So useful. Very, very useful.
Yeah,
but herO just trying to get back into it. He's got a supply very similar once again towards Classics.
I mean, Classic has a massive upgrade advantage, but he should attack soon, in my opinion, though. Don't wait until 200 versus 200, because then I feel Phoenixes are not worth it anymore. They don't have the DPS that the other Protoss units have, but right now, this is just a great moment to fight. You're going to get +3, you have more Colossus than your opponent. Your opponent doesn't even have +2 yet. Your Phoenixes are still somewhat useful, around 150, 160, 170 supply. That is pretty much, the last moment you really want to use Phoenixes in PvP.
Classics army looks like it's ready. A lot of Zealots supported by a couple of Archons, but these Phoenixes just going to dive straight in there and lift what they can. And is that army of heroes really ready for this? Because Classic looking to take it to game 5. Good to see that he's not crumbling under pressure and he's still playing as good as he can play when it matters the most here at the Intel Extreme Masters, and he's going to move forward.
Wasting a lot of time, so most likely herO will get +2. If herO gets that Mothership Core, no, he's not going to get it. Looked like
tried. He did take the shields off, but that's it.
I mean, this army of Classic looks unstoppable, right? Like, what can herO hope for? Maybe if the Stalkers can somehow find no, herO, this is not well better concave, but still, this is an inferior army, and
he's going to have the +2 attack by the looks of it. That is a little bit of a help, but still +3 from Classic.
Blink, oh no, he could have blinked. What?
Classics, come on, blink forwards.
Wipe in 1 High Templar, feedback that baby.
He's doing it, he's working on it, but here we go, the engagement's going to take place, and this is where Classic puts his fist to the table and says, no, herO, this is not your series, and Classic hopefully is going to be able to do this, but so far herO's putting up a fantastic fight again. Probes coming off the line to help, these Stalkers being microed very well at the back.
Yeah, this is the few extra Zealots, I think, is what's making this very difficult for herO. herO is putting up a very good fight over there, but I'm afraid that in the end, it's just not going to be enough. The upgrades matter so much right now, and these Colossus, they will reign supreme on the ground. A lot of Zealots being wiped in from all angles, but, Colossus are just too beefy, too tanky.
Classic, once again, really turns this around. GG is called in. He finds himself moving forward to game 5. Where everything is on the line for a single map between the both. Excellent performance from Classic. Absolutely excellent performances from both sides.
Yep, and we're going to come down to the rubber match. Game 5 in the PvP semifinals. Who's going to make it to the final of the Intel Extreme Masters Shenzhen? We'll find it out after this very small commercial break.
Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters. We are live from Shenzhen in China at the Anime and Cartoon Festival.
And we've been having some fun, haven't we, Sean?
We have been having lots of fun taking pictures with a lot of the cosplayers here and just generally enjoying the atmosphere, because it is a crazy atmosphere and there's a lot of people here today. It's super hot and super fun, but we are here for a very important tournament as, of course, the start of the Intel Extreme Masters for Season X, Season 10.
I think my favorite moment, Sean, is when you went on your knees and you grabbed the hand of one of the girls who was wearing a wedding dress, and there were immediately 25 Chinese people around us. Oh, and they all started taking pictures of your wedding proposal.
That's right. I did ask for a proposal on a wedding. I didn't get one, though.
She was quite beautiful, Sean. Maybe a little bit out of your league. Kidding, mate. I love you.
She's nice. She was nice, but it is herO versus Classic. Game 5 is now loading. Which player is going to the grand finals? Which player gets a chance at the trophy? And which player is going to travel to Poland for the World Championship?
I'm so ready. Iron Fortress is going to be the battleground of our final map. Historically, it's been very even between these two great Protoss players, and today, it's just no different, man. Classic truly shows once more that he absolutely has what it takes when it comes to PvP as well. We know he's very good PvP, we know he's very good PvZ, but even in this matchup, Sean, he is no slouch.
For one final time, introduce these two players up here to the top left-hand side. Playing for CJ Entus, it's of course herO. A little bit shaken now. It's serious business as Classic has taken him to the final map. Of course, herO looking to get towards that final, his 5th Intel Extreme Masters final.
And over here on the right bottom side of Iron Fortress, the man that's looking for his first appearance ever at the Intel Extreme Masters Finals, it is Classic.
He's already reached further than he ever has before at the Intel Extreme Masters.
That always feels great. You know, when you go to a tournament you've been before and you already know that you've set a new personal best, it drops a little bit of weight off your shoulders. Another early exit would have been devastating, especially, you know, when he knew that he had to go up against Rain when it comes to... I have the feeling we have a slightly different observer for the start of this game show.
Might be Autosis.
Might be Artosis. You know, these zooms have been a little bit shaky. Yep, yeah. This is Artie McTosis.
This is Artie McTosis having a go on the steering wheel.
Of course, we'll get Flo back in no time. I'm not sure why he had the urge to show off the Zerg symbol when we're talking about PvP, but we're talking about Classic, you know, like he already had to play against Rain with his tournament life on the line. And when you survive a group like that, you know life's good.
Well, when everything's on the line now, Roddy, what do you choose to do? This is a big question. herO, for the first time in the Best of 5 series, has actually decided to send a probe scout out.
Before Classic, you mean?
And he wants to know where his opponent is and wants to have eyes on the game straight away. Or does he? Yes, he might do. He puts a pylon down here and is going to travel to the other side to go find where Classic is.
I don't think he's going to build any buildings there. I think he might go for a Stargate, but I think it will be in his main base. Like, Iron Fortress is a very interesting map, and I think a lot of Protoss players love opening up Stargate here for multiple reasons. There are so many airways into the main base, and in general it seems quite difficult for you to lose your Oracle or whatnot. But it's also a map where sometimes people go one gate fast, expand Robo, sometimes they go Twilight.
Yeah.
But for now, both players open up Stargate immediately. And now the real question is, does either of these two have the soul read to open up with Phoenixes?
Well, herO's going to scout out the Stargate.
That is so good, actually.
He moves in, and for the first time he does scout in this matchup.
But
and Classic
might cancel it.
Well, we'll see. Classic not trying to hide anything because herO
Cancelled
has been scouting. And there is the Twilight Council.
Played a lot of PvP in my day, Sean. Those European Protosses and the North Americans, they have some tricks as well.
Is
I like
herO
this.
going to read into that, though, that this could be a possibility?
Yeah, probably. Definitely. Players on this level will always keep that in mind. I don't think he's going to open... Well, he's going to open up with a Phoenix, so I think he's under the impression that that Stargate has finished up, and he's trying to be cheeky. Unless he cancels the Phoenix and then opens up with an Oracle, that would just be next level mind games. But I think he's still expecting at least one Oracle out of Classic, and he probably thinks that Classic is going up to Blink after his Stargate.
Well, herO's probe is going to try and have a look inside this main base, perhaps. He does have it on the natural currently.
All right, this is a very interesting scenario. So now we just have straight up Phoenixes opening up against Blink Stalkers. herO is getting gateway number 2 and 3 before a robotics facility. And this is where things can get a little bit dicey, especially because we still have a probe on the right top side of the map as well for Classic. And he could put on some serious Blink Stalker pressure. And Blink Stalkers are normally better than just gateway units and Phoenixes. You still have to choose your fights very carefully, though, because it can also backfire. It's a very interesting scenario where it's sometimes a little bit of a guessing game, but herO is getting his robotics facilities now as well. I'm surprised he's getting his robo after gate number 2 and 3.
Access denied for herO, and also pylon found.
Wow.
No scouting, no pylon there, and he's going to send out his Phoenixes to have a look. He's got absolutely no idea what Classic's up to back there.
I mean, Classic is doing a little bit of everything. He's opening up with Blink Stalkers, but he's also getting a Dark Shrine, and he's even proxied it on the right top side of the map. But, you know, fortunately enough for herO, he is getting a robotics facility, and there's no need for him to ever cancel it. You don't want to cancel a robotics facility. He's going to wipe it a couple of units over here. Little too late, man. That's very
Phoenixes are about to dive in there, too, and they're about to take care of all of these Stalkers. That could have been a very cool move from herO, but no. And even another probe goes down. Sad there for herO, an attempt that didn't work, and he misses the pylon just outside his main base, which is where the Dark Templars are going to come from.
But there's just no way that these Phoenixes are not going to find any of these two pylons, right, Sean? That just doesn't happen.
There's no such thing as absolutes.
That's what you taught me. You've been such a great mentor over the years.
And here we see, he does find one of them.
And this is very important. Like, herO, you need to start an observer, like, as soon as possible. Like, you it couldn't be early enough. Don't start your second Immortal. He might still think that he's being Blink Stalker all-in or pressured. herO, you really need to get an Observer. Okay, he Chrono boosted out as well. That's very smart.
Yeah, and he has the Phoenixes waiting at home as well. So he's going to be ready for this. Observer seconds away. He's going to see this nice and early herO play it.
Could drop a force field like in between somewhere. Well, he's just going to use his Phoenixes because the Observer popped at the right time. Very well done here for herO.
Another Dark Templar was made though. What are you going to do now, Classic? He's got some Stalkers, 7 of them to be exact. It's a little bit dangerous considering the amount of Phoenixes and energy they have.
I think he should make one more Dark Templar and morph it into an Archon if he's serious about like putting on a little bit of pressure. But I think it's fake pressure. He's going up to 2 bases behind this. So he's just like, you know, every second that goes by right now is a second that is in my favor.
Well, he's serious about it then because he's got an Archon.
Yeah, but he's definitely not going to commit to it. It's just like, you know, be really scared of me. I have an Archon over here. I have Blink Stalkers. How scared are you, herO?
Yeah.
And at a certain point, herO is like, well, that army doesn't look very scary. I'm actually not scared at all. Now, Classic should start running back, though. Because once again, those Phoenixes, man, they can lift up units. And then suddenly Classic can end up losing 4 or 5 units.
And then he may lose the game to a counter. He's got to be very careful. He has a Nexus fully complete. There's real no reason to be here anymore. He's in a good position. Go home, take this little lead. You don't want to risk it. You don't want to risk this. herO's looking at it.
Oh, God.
The Phoenixes are waiting to jump. Well, fly.
And then
moving around
on top of that army. I think you made a very solid point there. Just ask yourself, if you're herO right now, or Classic, do I still have to be here? No, man, your Nexus is done.
Going.
Get the hell out of here.
He's back. He's going back, but the Phoenixes are already on the other side of the map, and they're going to have to do a lot of work for themselves. Obviously, Phoenixes can do that, but they really, really need to do it now. Nexus has completed and is building probes actively, and herO's quite a way behind in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, this is very nice. Oh my God, there's so much energy on these Phoenixes.
Yeah, that's lovely jubbly, everybody.
Wow.
12 probe kills for herO and a sentry on top of that as well. And he's even going to try maybe go for the Mothership Core. No, he goes for another probe. 13 in total. And just like that, Classic's economy got ripped right back down to where herO is.
Yep, but still though, he still has a quicker expand. So I still think it's an okay scenario for Classic, but he definitely overstayed his welcome there a little bit. Should have been back, should have had units in position. It's like, come on, man, you're so many workers ahead. You're a full base ahead. Just don't do this. He lost way more than he ever should have lost. But I still think that his position is okay-ish, even though herO's army is a lot stronger. But it's very hard to actually fight with real armies in this phase of the game.
Classic investing in a Dark Templar here. He's going to try and get into the main base. There's not an Observer on top of that army.
No, it's out of position. It's a little bit in front of the natural.
Here we go. This is a nice move from Classic. herO didn't expect it. He didn't know that pylon was right next to his Nexus, and he's going to get into the mineral line.
Wow.
And just like that, a couple of slices, and we are going to have a lot of probe kills. 3 down, 4 down.
A lot of lost mining time.
And all that work.
Oh my God.
Oh, there's another one. 6 down.
Oh, this is so painful right now for herO, man, because he only has 1 Observer. He's going to end up losing a few more. I mean, those Phoenixes were great, but these Dark Templars are legendary.
herO did all the work with the Phoenixes, and now the Dark Templar have just completely undone that. 10, 11, even a 12 probe goes down. 22 workers to 38. A massive advantage to Classic. This is such a big moment for Classic, and he right now is in the driving seat towards the grand finals, and herO has his work cut out.
Got 2 more, 14 in the end. So I guess from this point on, Sean, lesson learned, we will always get 2 pylons when we proxy Dark Templars, because this is the second time this happens in this tournament. The Dark Templars are being warped in behind enemy lines, behind the line of detection, and then suddenly just completely change the landscape of this game after herO just evened it up.
Forge and upgrading, robotics bay in. herO hasn't even taken his gases on the natural. He doesn't really have enough probes to mine from the gases right now.
So sick.
Big loss here to the former champion.
Yeah, that's so sick. It's almost impossible to make the right moves right now. It's 44 probes against 29, you know, like I try to put myself in herO's shoes. Like if I'm herO and this is an important game, what do? I really don't know. I try to get slowly but steady, even things up with my Phoenixes, but it's very difficult, man. You're just going to sing this one out. As painful as it's going to be, try to drag it out, try to buy time for yourself, be on top of your work production and somehow get enough Colossus out, but it's difficult.
Well, Phoenix have energy, and they're coming in. They find a sentry, and that's the start of a very, very long crawl back. He's got a lot of work to do. Even loses a Phoenix there. herO falling apart in the final moments of this best-of series.
It's been a great best of 5 PvP though. Like PvP is definitely a very cool matchup. You know, it had its ugly periods in the past where everybody was just 4-gating or 3-gating, you know. But I truly feel that in this day and age, PvP became very interesting, and it's a lot about mind games. Mechanics, maybe not so much, and definitely doesn't require the same amount of mechanics as a TVZ or whatever, but you know, you can make a lot of smart moves, and it's just all about making cool plays. And I definitely feel that, you know, Classic got a little bit unfortunate in game 1 and even game 2 for a while, but he bounced back like a champ in this series.
And 2 more Dark Templars going towards the main base to continue the onslaught into the probe line. herO obviously has Phoenixes, but not anywhere near close at this moment, and he does not have any spotting or scouting up there.
He has a cannon in his main base, so that's nice, but sometimes you end up losing this cannon because Dark Templar skill cannon's pretty damn quick as well. And if herO ends up losing this cannon, man, that would just be devs.
1 Dark Templar has been unloaded outside of the main.
And the other one
going to go in.
Yeah, and the other one at the 3rd base, so he's denying herO from going up to 3 bases, which is so frustrating again for herO, because every second is important.
Yeah, and he's inside the main, and here we go again. herO taking more and more losses. 3 more probes, he's going to get more too. Classic pulling out the moves. But is almost guaranteeing himself a position in the grand finals here. Classic taking the 3rd, chilling at home.
Supply-wise, it's still surprisingly close, though. Classic has not been building workers for a while, and that kind of surprises me a little bit. He's ahead in upgrades, though, so that's very nice.
Better army, better upgrades.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to sell it like herO is, you know, actually doing fine, but it could have been worse. On a certain point, he was down 16 workers, and I truly felt that was the beginning of the end. Now I still like Classic position a lot more, but if this game drags out a little bit longer, PvP late game, you know, 1 time warp, 1 time your Colossus being clumped up, and everything can swing in the other player's favor. So it's not over yet for the 3-time Into Extreme Masters champion that is looking for his 5th final appearance. But, you know, he still has his work cut out for him.
24 probes have been killed through these Dark Templar.
It's gross, Sean. I hate Dark Templars. You know, I'm a Protoss player, but I actually hate Dark Templars.
A lot of players hate Dark Templars, Roddy, not just you. All the Terrans, all the Zergs, and half of the Protoss players.
Yeah, it's like either you're a Dark Templar player or you're not, you know, there isn't really any in between.
Phoenix gets picked off again here. Sloppy mistakes from herO. He's got to stop making these. As you said, he's not out of it yet. Definitely not out of it yet. Temporal Archives now finishing up, giving him access towards Archons.
How many Colossus does herO have?
He's finding himself in the probe line. He's going to take 1 probe at a time.
There are no more. Yeah, that's actually still, though, with just 2 Phoenixes, you can gather so much energy that you can kill 7 or 8 probes if it's completely exposed and you got the time of your life. So herO's doing a lot with very, very little, and that's something we definitely have to compliment him for a lot. Man, you can see that this guy's a warrior. This guy's an IEM champ. He doesn't want to give up. They went for a different route of upgrades, and some people might be like, so why did herO get 1-1 and why is Classic 2-0? What is better? I think 99% of the scenarios, 2-0 is always better than 1-1. And it's just herO didn't have a Twilight console yet. That's why he started his armor.
Yeah. Zealot charge now finishing up for both. 2 more Dark Templars being warped in at the north side here for Classic, who's going to go maybe try and take that cannon out. What's he going for?
Maybe the Robobay or the Forge on power it, something.
Nope.
Chicky? No,
going back to the mineral line, and this time the cannon's going to be attacked.
Oh god, this is so...
And this is a big blow again.
On this moment, you just really hate it. Observe it out of position. The other one's coming. Use Photon Overcharge. Don't want to lose your robotics facility. He's not going to lose it yet.
Said, whoa. Wow. Lucky boy.
Okay, but herO is out of position right now. Classic is marching across the map. Classic, once again, slightly better upgrade, and he does have a 23 army supply advantage.
Oh, herO's got some units up there, though.
Yeah, and he forced the Photon Overcharge in the main base. Let's not forget about that. But herO's getting a couple of arcles. Man, if herO pulls this game back, that would be a heroic effort. I would be so impressed. I think that would be one of the coolest PvP victories he's ever had in his life. One thing herO has going for himself, Sean, that is an immortal advantage. He has 3 immortals, 0 immortals on the other side for Classic. But then again, Classic has 21 Zealots. And Zealots pretty good against immortals.
Oh, here we go, Classic powering up. Is the position going to be okay for herO to take a fight? Because Classic is looking at the finals right now. He's got a very powerful army. He's got an upgrade advantage.
If I was herO, I'm not sure if I would stand here. I feel this is exactly where Classic wants to fight. You know, that's the biggest wide open area. That's great for all these charge slots that are just going to swarm around the army of herO.
herO sees the army. He knows exactly where it is.
Go on the ramp. Exactly, herO.
He's on the ramp, going to defend it. Classic looking to move to the finals. He's going to hallucinate a Colossus, and there we go. The fight begins. And Classic is going to take this. In Classic, in dominating fashion, in absolutely perfect engagement, a full wraparound from the Zealots, and every single Colossus is smashing their race through into the beat of what herO has left over. And this is going to be a Classic victory. There is almost nothing left of herO. He's kept his Colossus alive, and that is all he has right now. There is no buffer, there is no assistance. He's got a lot of money in the bank and needs to spend it. Yeah. Right now he's sitting pretty, waiting. Classic obviously warping in again. He knows he's very close.
Okay, unfortunately there were a couple of stocks left, so that Phoenix will go down. herO starts another Colossus. I kind of feel that he should have tried to start another Immortal or anything. Get a couple of Archons, man. His Zealots are going to lose the fight here because Classic is going to use his own Colossus.
Yeah, and now he's on the high ground, and hero's going to have to fight up here. There is nothing to protect herO's Colossus. He must fight with them, and this is it. Can herO hold on for one last time, or Classic will move to the finals?
That is kind of an ugly position for the Colossus of Classic, but Classic just has an overwhelming amount of other units on the ground. He still had Zealots, he still had Archons. Classic shot at his own units there, I believe. Yeah. It was a little bit unfortunate, but
herO microing with absolutely everything, but he is now losing it, and Classic denies herO a final and will take it for himself and an opportunity to play for the championship in the grand finals. Classic destroying what's left of herO, takes the 23 supply lead, chases down the hopes and dreams of herO here in Shenzhen and China, and this is going to be it. herO, I imagine, cannot believe it, but it is Classic who stops him on his tracks to the grand finals, takes it for himself, and finds himself in another final at a StarCraft event and his first ever Intel Extreme Masters Grand Final.
Man, this guy's just on a run lately and defeating the Prince of Intel Extreme Masters in the semifinals. Hell yeah, Classic. Give it a little fist bump. That was an herO. That was just a great series, man.
And herO absolutely devastated, obviously.
Such a great PvP series, though, between these two. I really think that was a joy to watch. I enjoyed pretty much every single game of that series.
Great series, absolutely wonderful Protoss versus Protoss game, but herO stopped in his tracks. Unfortunately here, he's not going to his fifth final. He's not having his fourth trophy. And now it is all up for grabs, and we are guaranteed a new Intel Extreme Masters champion with the 3 players that we have left. One of them's going to take it for the first time. Well done to Classic. Wonderful performances, and you know, he had to beat the best of the best.
Yeah, he had to work really hard for this one, man. There were so many mind games. Just had a little bit of everything. I can't wait to hear what Classic has to say about this series as he has joined the desk together with Artie McTosis and Chobra.
Thank you very much, Rotterdam. Yes, I mean, definitely a bit of a twist of fates here, but Classic, congratulations, moving on to the finals of Intel Extreme Masters Shenzhen.
Maybe an upset for Intel Extreme Masters, but overall, I don't think we can call it that. This guy's a multi-time champion, so really well done, Classic. I got to ask you, the other side of the bracket has Parting, one of the best Protoss in the world, and TY, a fantastic Terran who has been just ripping up the scene lately, like such great results. Who would you rather face in the finals and why?
Alright, 일단 너무 축하드리고요. 결승에 올라가신 거 너무 축하드리고 정말 힘겨운 매치였는데 바로 이제 결승전에서는 상대 쪽에서 원희삭 선수나 저희 전태양 선수를 만나야 돼요. 혹시 둘 중에 오히려 더 만나고 싶은 선수가 있으세요?
저는 이삭이를 만나고 싶어요. 왜냐하면 지금 IM에 되게 강한, 그리고 프로토스 이제 탑 한 3 안에 드는 준호를 이겼기 때문에 이삭이도 이기고 제가 프로토스의 최강자가 되고 싶어서 이삭이가 올라왔으면 좋겠어요.
I want Parting to come up to the finals, and here's why. Because I just beat herO, who's definitely in the top 3 Protosses this weekend. I took him down. If I can meet Parting in the finals and beat him, I can safely say I am the best Protoss. I was the best Protoss at Shenzhen. I continued to be until someone takes me down. Well, you know, I actually have an excellent question, because we joked about this earlier, but we have all these nicknames for these other guys. I want to know what Classic thinks of himself. 그럼 저희가 그 다른 선수들은 지금까지 뭐 정윤정 선수를 포함해서 뭐 정윤정 선수 이제 세계적으로 뭐 프로토스 킹이다. 그리고 원희삭 선수 이제 본인이 그냥 알아서 나는 프로토스 가시다. 뭐 그리고 김주호 선수는 IEM 프린스다. 그렇게 불리고 있는데, 그러면 김도 선수는 혹시 뭐 내가 진짜 뭐 프로토스 가시라든지 뭐 다른 혹시 하고 싶은 말 있으세요?
제가 그냥 프로토스 그 자체인 것 같아요. 그래서 그냥 다른 프로토스 다 이기고 이제 정상했으면 제가 왕이 되지 않을까 싶어서 윤종이랑 준호까지 이겼고 이제 이삭이만 남은 것 같아서 이삭이가 올랐으면 좋겠네요.
You know, I like to think that I'm pretty much just Protoss incarnate. I am Protoss. And listen, I took down Rain. I took down herO. If I take Parting down, who's going to argue against that? I am at the top. You know, I'm the king. Maybe even the god. Like, I am the king of Protoss. So I hope that I get to play Party in the finals. I hope I can prove it that way once again. Congratulations to Classic, of course, going to the final, taking down the 3-time Intel Extreme Masters champion. If you missed that game, probably one of the more exciting PvP games you have ever watched. So definitely go over to Plays.tv, catch up on the highlights, and when we come back, we will find out, will it be Parting or TY meeting Classic in the finals?